And on the line right now from New York City, at a very, very important time in New York City, is the one and only Peter Franklin, Gabby Cabby. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning. Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Well, that is the, I have to tell you, there's really not a better time to go to New York City than beginning Thanksgiving time, Macy's Parade, and right on through Christmas. And, of course, capping it off with New Year's.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's a very unique time, and it's especially unique time because keep in mind that Christmas is for Christians, whereas Thanksgiving is for everybody. And when you have a city with 176 languages being spoken, every possible ethnic background, what have you. So everybody celebrates it. I mean, you can go to a Chinese restaurant, you're going to have turkey and egg foo young. Go to a Jewish delicatessen, it's going to be turkey and gefilte fish. So it's a universal thing. And, of course, the extra excitement is that some terrorist group, whoever they are, threatened to mess up the Thanksgiving Day parade. So they're putting around these big trucks with sand in them, and there's going to be 5,000 cops. So it's like almost like living in a movie, but that's what New York City is.
Yeah. You know, it's I would think, and tell me if I'm wrong, that during these times, especially big events like this, people are on the lookout. The people become very important, right? Because you're not going to, New Yorkers will not take any, you know what.
Yeah, well, you know, what's the line? Say something if you see something, this, that, and the other thing. So New Yorkers are kind of, I wouldn't say suspicious. And again, when I'm saying New Yorkers, I'm not excluding you nice people, but there's something special about living in the city. And when you get into a subway train that's packed with people, all of whom just had a garlic pizza, of course, the fact of the matter is you're a little suspicious. And when that used to happen to me, I said, gee, am I turning into some kind of cynical old man? But no, I'm a little suspicious when I ride the subway, for instance, which I do.
Hey, I want to take you through a little history, which I know you know your history. November 25th, 1783, the evacuation.
Yes, that sounds like it's also some kind of medical problem. The reason why the day intrigues me so much is I'm drawing in my own mind the comparison between then and now. And what do I mean by that? That was the day that the Brits had to leave New York. So all the soldiers, the British soldiers, lined up, and they had to march out of the city because, after all, they lost the war, and they had to leave, and they got on their ships, and they went back to England. So I was thinking to myself, in those days, the streets were probably lined with New Yorkers who said, "Get thee to thou ships post haste."
Yeah.
As compared to today, they would have said, "Take a hike, get lost. Here's the finger, stick it in your ear." But anyway, it's a big day in New York City. Maybe it's not a big day for everybody, but I don't know. There's something about it that really lights my fire.
Something that's different today, life expectancy is way up, and that is affecting cities like New York City.
Oh, tremendously in the social services. I mean, just think, listen, when I met you, I was a young man.
You're
and come
still.
to think of it, you were a young man.
Yeah, very good point.
And now we've grown old together. No, it is, because we got, the percentage of the population. And again, it doesn't make New York particularly unique, except we do have the longest life expectancy of any place in the country. We really do. So, everything now is old, which is all right. But, I mean, it's like everybody discusses what diabetes pill you're taking. Did you check your blood this morning? Are you taking your heart medicine? I mean, it's really, we're all becoming a bunch of old codgers, which, of course, is better than the alternative. But it puts a burden on the city, too, because everybody has to be kind of taken care of. Luckily, we have the money to do it here.
Listen, every year, my wife and we bring the kids to New York City at the holiday time, once or twice. This year, of course, you can go to there's the Rockettes, there's the Christmas tree, there's Macy's, which is incredible if the kids are young enough to do Santa Claus. And now there's a new attraction for the holidays, and it's a new holiday spectacle on Fifth Avenue.
Yes, it is. It's the ultimate, and it's something that's drawing people like crazy. It's the Trump building, and it has lots of barricades. And I guess for a dramatic effect, although it's probably necessary, they get cops standing outside with machine guns. Now, even me, a streetwise New Yorker who gets around, that is an unbelievable sight to see on the streets of New York. We're wearing the steel helmets, the padded vests, and standing there with obviously is a machine gun. I mean, they're letting people go in and out of the building. They're not harassing anybody. They're not checking for identification. They're just there, and I guess they know what they're doing. And, of course, Fifth Avenue at its best has 4 lanes. They've cut down it now so it's 2 lanes with the barricades. So it's a mess. They're saying, a lot of people saying he should leave and go to the White House. I don't know about that. He says he wants his kid to stay in school, so he may not leave.
Aren't there some, like restaurants in the area, they're complaining, and businesses because the customers aren't able to get in there because of the crowds?
Yeah, well, that's it, but that's New York City all the time. And I think when you start complaining about too much business, I think, gee, I'm going to complain too. I got to tell you my problems. We got so many people in New York City. All they want me to do is drive them someplace. Why is that my problem?
Yeah. Trust me, we see it up here. And one final note, I know you're a big fan of the mayor of New York City, Mr. Mayor de Blasio. And New York, he says, will remain a sanctuary city, period.
Well, he can't do that because that's just wrong. It's not right. I mean, that whole thing, that's a whole discussion about the immigration thing. There's a way to come into this country properly, and there's a way to come into this country illegally. And the other thing is he has said publicly that they should continue the demonstrations because he thinks that's great. What is he, an idiot? At best, it's impossible to get an ambulance or a fire engine or a cop car or anything like that through the streets of New York. And for him to urge New Yorkers to demonstrate against Trump, I don't know. What is he trying to do? Fill the vacuum that Hillary has left?
Yeah. And Peter, for Thanksgiving, you do turkey?
Yes, of course. It's required by law.
I think it is. I think it is. Hey, have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we will speak to you coming up next week.
Thank you. Everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.
Best tour in New York City. If you get an opportunity in the holiday time or at any time, he'll take you around to places in New York that guaranteed you will never have seen before, never knew even existed.